Welcome to the energy of the day for Monday, July 28th. We're going to go ahead and see what is going on for today. So let's take a look here. Let's see what's happening. I'm going to start with the tarot first. So let's see what's happening overall for Monday, July 28th. Let's take a look here. We do have the Queen of Pentacles. Then we have the Five of Wands. Ooh, what is going on here? A little bit of money trouble potentially here. Nine of Swords, though. Oh, somebody's not worrying about it. Give me a second, though, here. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit because somebody here thinks they are doing no wrong by going back and forth, things of that nature. You know what? I have two people technically. I have a person here who's not really worried about finances too much, or a person who shouldn't be too worried about finances in general here. And then I also have a person here who is acting a little bit childish with their finances or something like that. Like they have money to burn while another person is struggling. It feels something like that. But it seems like there shouldn't be an actual form of worry here about it. Yeah, I don't think so. Ace of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and then Strength card, Nine of Cups, King of Wands, Hangman, Knight of Swords, Queen of Cups in reverse. How interesting. Wheel of Fortune. Da 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 da. There's somebody here. Okay, so there is something that I do want to just quickly touch up on, and that is not to get hung up on the physical, okay, on the physicalities of life. There are other things that are also important here. Keep yourself in good spirits, though. Keep yourself in a good mood. Of course, if it is a partner that is doing some spending out of the norm of the budget, then it is up to you to go ahead and speak with them about boundaries, okay? It's definitely here for that. But, or maybe you just require to put some boundaries on yourself because you are spending a little too much from yourself, whatever the case is, of yourself. This doesn't have to be financial. It could actually just be energetic, where you are, giving people, this is nice though, but where you are giving people more than, right? More than you can handle, more than is required, just more than. So I do require you to kind of just come back a little bit and not get too involved in their dramatics either. And at that point, you won't be making a little mess of your own life here either, right? It's something like that. There are some things here that are more worthy for you to just sit, listen, but not retain, okay? So that is important here. You do not have to take everybody's problems onto your own shoulders either. So be very aware of that. But if you are in a partnership setting, a family setting, whatever the case is, and somebody's being a little bit too, too frivolous, right? Too frivolous with their spending or whatever the case is, just out of control a little bit, whatever it is here, then you may require to have just a little bit of a chit chat with that person. And that's it. That's it. Nothing is yet set in stone. I do think that some of you could be also worrying about finances or something, right? Something that's prosperity or involved or whatever this is. But there is also a message of relax a little bit. Don't be too, don't give yourself sleepless nights over it. Just go with the flow of things and it will actually turn out for the best, or for the better, whatever the case is. Now, I understand that could be used as a excuse from the person who's doing all the, all the spending, and you're just like, what the frick? And they're just like, yeah, don't worry about it. And you're the one sitting up at night and being like, yeah, but I'm worried about it. What this means is for you not to get too personally involved. So, for example, if this individual is not dipping in the, in the, what do you call that? Collected financial bank, savings account or whatever, then you can at least see that this person, they are making their money and they want to spoil themselves from time to time too. You're allowed to do that as well, right? It's always good to check in with each other and see where you guys stand financially. And this way, you can both plan ahead kind of thing. As long as the bills, like the money for the bills are put aside and all that, then it's not really that much of a big thing, whatever this person spends on themselves or whatever you spend on yourself, right? Money is one of those things, actually, in life that when you distribute, it actually comes back to you tenfold. And I know many people don't really have that belief, but it's part of an energy and it's part of a cycling kind of, a cycling kind of, what do you call that? It's just part of the cycle, right? You're supposed to spend money in order to get money. And I'm not talking about, things that don't help you or don't benefit you in life. I'm not talking about those types of spendings. I'm talking about being in the system, being part of it, and keeping the flow of it, and spending inside of it, and therefore you get that energy back in return, back in return to you. Those that sit on a mountain and pile of money and don't really use it, or don't really use it to benefit others or whatever it is, right? They tend to have stagnant energy, and they tend to somehow, I don't know why, but there's like a little bit of a resentment or a bitterness sitting inside that person after a while. It's very strange. It's very strange how much, holding back or keeping holding on to things can actually make us into a Scrooge. It's very interesting like that. So do allow the individual to go ahead and spend their money too from time to time, as long as all the bills are, taken into consideration, then there shouldn't be any real problems, right? If it's about children, then have people spending on children as well. Make sure that the children are having a good time. Now, there is a bit of a warning here. Make sure that you are taking the proper steps in blocking an individual who is using children against you. Just to siphon out all the lovely little pretty pennies that you are making. You do require to stand up to that type of person, because I do have an individual here on this table that is basically using the children as a means of a weapon to suck the financial standings of another individual. Right, I do have that too. It could be a male that is, gold digging a female, or it could be a female that has trapped a person with a kid and is gold digging off the male. Whatever the case is, okay. Whatever the case is. Sometimes males can trap successful women, and it does happen. It does happen, and vice versa. Of course, women can trap successful men, and you need to be able to protect yourself accordingly here. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, actually, quite interestingly. Then the Five of Wands, Aries. We do have the Taurus here. Nine of Swords is Libra. The Emperor, of course, is Aries and Scorpio. Mars, ruler of Mars. Page of Wands, Sagittarius. Two of Swords, Gemini-ish, kind of. But there is also an Aquarius here. Okay. All right, well, let's see what wants to pop through. I wouldn't be surprised if Saturn or Capricorn came out this time around either. I would not be surprised about that. Gemini on the side like that. Yeah, there's a bit of misunderstandings going on in the form of communication here, so be careful with that as well. Be careful with even getting just bamboozled, guys. Bamboozled. Okay, let me see what else is going on. Don't bamboozle each other, you know. Make sure to have a conversation with one another. For example, if it's a healthy dynamic, but somebody has a, you know, spending habits, make sure that you guys have a healthy conversation about it, right? Let's keep going here. What else is going on? Another boo-boo, Scorpio on the side. Okay, anything else here? Yeah. No gaslighting, by the way. Please stay away from any kind of any kind of conversation that has a tinge of you know, a tinge of gaslighting or some kind of passive aggressive communication. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. It's not going to get to the end result. Okay, it's not going to get to the end result. Or you may require to look at another individual and see if they are the ones that are gaslighting you. Okay. And making you feel bad for trying to be on top of the finances in the dynamic or in the situation or whatever. Okay, anything else? Do you feel that one? There's the Aries. Scorpio again. And I feel to take top Cancer and Cancer. All right. So just be aware. Okay, just be aware of any kind of conversations that you guys may have. Not to have it from a place of panic. Okay, panic is not the best here. Just have a normal conversation. You know, stand with your principles and your beliefs and all that, and then go from there. If this is against well, I don't want to say against, but if this does concern your workplace, and you know, maybe they're late on paying you, maybe they're late, or maybe they don't even pay you overtime or something like that, you will require to have a conversation with this place. Okay, let's see the overall. There we go. You are encouraged to follow your feelings and intuition. This is a reminder that your personal power is in your hands and that you are free to take flight at any time if you find yourself in a situation that doesn't suit you anymore. Yeah. You guys will require to have a conversation big time before you guys, you know, go bananas here and you know, rightfully cut somebody off or something off or whatever. Try to see if it can be rectified first, because there is a bit of a power struggle. Okay, there's a bit of a power struggle going on here, and you guys will require to, honestly, you guys will require to have that resolved or get it resolved or whatever the case is here. There could be some people here who are trying to control you financially too. Whatever this is, okay, guys, whatever this is. I wish you all the very best. Have a great one, and I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye-bye.